Hi guys. So this week what we're going to talk about is energy. The last few weeks we've been focusing on what makes the difference between people that are successful and that people that don't quite reach their goals. So the first thing, remember, is to identify your goals, identify what your dreams are, and to view them every single day. So we started off where we have the miracle morning. Every morning we're going to make sure that we're doing the savers of life savers. You're going to have some silence for about 5 minutes. You want to do affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing. That's writing. So the part that you want to focus on each morning, though, is to make sure that you're visualizing and you're affirming your goals. So you're going to do that by having your dream board set out. Look at your dream board, sit down and say what your dream board means to you one by one so that you hear it and so that you're reminded about it. By doing that, that helps for those little bitty decisions about what you have to do when, for those to just kind of roll, because everything is focused on your actions that are going to lead you closer to your goals. The other thing that we talked about was to make sure that each morning we're setting the tone for the rest of the day. So that's why we call it the miracle morning, where we're going to wake up a little bit earlier, set the tone for our day. The thing is that being productive throughout the day and not getting crazy overwhelmed is so much more important than those last few minutes of sleep. So we want to make sure that we're setting the tone for our day and keeping everything totally consistent with where we want to be. That way, whenever somebody says, hey, you want to go out to eat for lunch, you're like, well, no, it's not even a decision that you have to make, because your goal is to lose weight, is to be able to play with your grandkids, is to be able to fit in the clothes that you feel comfortable in, so that you're doing more, you're more active and not sitting on the sidelines of life. So whenever you think about that, and everything about the way that you started your day is wrapped around those goals and those dreams, then that decision is so much easier to make. You just say, well, no, I brought my lunch, I'm going to stay here, I already have my plan. And then we talked about cravings. Cravings can do you in if you don't understand exactly what they mean. So you want to understand exactly what they mean. If you're not sure about what they mean, or you didn't tune into the last week's session, then go back and review it, because seriously, understanding what those cravings mean can help to save your entire program. Because the worst thing is to have a craving for sweets. You want a muffin in the afternoon, and then as you go into the afternoon, you're tired and you're hungry and you're cranky and everything else, and so you want that muffin, you have it, and then you start that whole vicious cycle of feeling guilty and not going to the gym and blah 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 blah, all that craziness that goes on in our head. So we want to understand what that craving for the muffin means. So go back and review that if you don't remember. The next thing that we want to talk about is your energy level, though. The thing is that if you're walking around in a daze and you're tired all day, and then you're not going to stick to your plan. You're going to get weary. You're going to be less likely to see success because of the fact that you're just thinking about sleeping. You're just tired all the time. So we have a few things that we do to make sure that we do keep our energy level up throughout the day and throughout the week. First thing is that we can't over-caffeinate sleep. You want to make sure that you're getting in sleep, you're getting in restful sleep. If you're not sleeping restfully, then you need to come see me, because we want to make sure that there's not something else that's going on that we can correct, so that you do get a good night's sleep. The other thing that you want to do is you want to wake up whenever it's time to wake up. Stop hitting that snooze button. Get up, be excited about your day, be excited and go through your day and your morning with anticipation about all of the opportunities that are right there in front of you. And you also want to make sure that you're supporting your energy level with food. What that means is you're going to stick to your everyday foods, your fruits, vegetables, meats, beans, and nuts. Those other foods, those special occasion foods, tend to sabotage your energy level, weigh you down because you're taking excess calories at your meals. So we want to make sure that we're sticking to your everyday foods. You're going to eat every 3 to 4 hours. I cannot say that enough. I know that's difficult if you're accustomed to just kind of eating here, there, and yonder. But you want to really keep that somewhat regimented so that your blood sugar level stays steady. Your blood sugar level is what dictates your energy level, your hunger level, and your metabolism. So we want to control that as much as possible. Whenever you have your meals and your snacks every 3 to 4 hours, you're going to combine a quick energy food, which would be your fruits or vegetables, with a more long-lasting energy food, your meats, beans, or nuts. So you want to always have that combination. So number one, you're getting in your 7 servings of fruits and vegetables per day. So you're getting in all those amazing nutrients to support your energy and your overall health. And number two, you're able to stay satisfied for 3 to 4 hours at a time by coupling it with your meats, vegetables, nuts, or beans. Okay, so the next thing that we want to do whenever we talk about our energy level is to make sure that whenever you're eating every 3 to 4 hours that you're not overeating. Whenever you overeat, that tends to weigh you down, so you feel lethargic, you feel sluggish in between meals. So you don't want to eat mindlessly. You want to make sure that whenever you eat, you're eating, and you're just sitting there, you're eating, you're kind of paying attention to what you're eating. You're not going back for seconds just because it was good or what have you. We really want to shift that mindset from looking at immediate gratification to looking at what's going to help me to get closer to my goal. Because the bottom line is that immediate gratification wears off so quickly. It's not something that's going to sustain you at all. But making that decision based on, I just want a cookie right now, can really sabotage the way that you feel long term, and absolutely sabotage your ability to reach the goals that mean so much to you. So we're going to keep those goals ever present at the front of our mind. We're going to start with a meal plan, and you're just going to follow that meal plan like a robot, eating every 3 to 4 hours, making sure that you combine your quick energy and long-lasting energy foods together. Now, I believe that energy, or that knowledge is power. So energy is power too, but knowledge is power. So I want to take a couple of minutes, and I hope I don't bore you to tears with the details about how your body creates energy. So basically, whenever you eat, you're eating for energy. Your body's main focus is to break down whatever you're putting in your mouth into energy so that it can be used and so that it can keep your body going. So the energy in our body is known as sugar, or blood glucose. So basically, whenever you start to eat, you're going to secrete saliva. Saliva is those first enzymes that start to break down your food. The food's going to go down the esophagus into your stomach, churn up and everything. You have other enzymes that are pushed in that help to further break down your food. The goal, like I said, is to break it down into sugar. Once it's broken down into sugar, that sugar goes into the bloodstream, and then your brain triggers the pancreas and says, hey, we got to get that out. So the pancreas secretes insulin. Insulin comes out, attaches to the sugar, and brings the sugar into the muscles to be used as energy. A couple of things you need to know here. Number one, you have to have insulin to make it work. Sugar cannot go into the muscle cells without having insulin attached to it. And number two is that it can't be used as energy if your muscle cells don't open up their gates to allow it to be used as energy. So a few things that happen here. Number one is, are you secreting insulin? If you're not secreting insulin, then you have insulin-dependent diabetes. That's where you have to give shots and everything else. So that's better known as juvenile onset diabetes. The other thing that happens is that you're secreting the insulin. The insulin goes in, combines with the sugar, goes to the muscles, and the muscles are like, what the heck are you doing here? They're not even ready to accept energy. So if they're not ready to accept energy, then that sugar goes back into the bloodstream. It's going to be stored for later usage. So let's back it up just a bit. Whenever you look at your muscle cells, they have, they're all round, of course, in our brains. So they have little what we call receptor sites, or gates per se. Those receptor sites, whenever you are not kind to your body, whenever you're overweight, you overeat, you just eat a bunch of junk, you don't exercise or anything, then those receptor sites close. And they're not open for your body to receive energy. Whenever they close, that's what happens, where the sugar comes to the muscles, and the muscles are like, what the heck are you doing? They don't utilize it. The sugar goes back into the bloodstream and then is stored for later usage. So what we want to do is keep those receptor sites open. We have an epidemic in the United States of insulin resistance, or metabolic syndrome. And that's where people are walking around. They don't truly have diabetes or non-insulin dependent diabetes, where their blood sugar levels consistently run high, but they have insulin resistance, which means that that your body and your metabolism is not working efficiently because your muscles have become resistant to allowing insulin to bring the sugar into them to be used as energy because of things that you've done in the past, hormonal issues or what have you. We're going to dive into that next week. We're not going to really jump into that today. What I want to talk to you about today, though, is what you can do to open up those muscle cells. So the thing that you can do is, number one, you're going to follow 10 and 2. You're going to follow the eating guide, eat every 3 to 4 hours, have sensible portions, be ultimately aware of what you're putting in your mouth and how much of it. Not diving into seconds just because it tasted good. You're going to be aware of your cravings and what they mean to you, so you address them the way that they need to be addressed instead of just stuffing your face with food because you have a craving. And then you're also going to exercise. Exercise is going to be the key for this. What you want to do is make your muscles hungry. You want to make them crave that energy throughout the day. So you're going to work out. You're going to do your regular workouts whenever you come to the gym and everything, and that's going to get those muscles like, wah, 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 just feed me, feed me. Then you're going to also try to be active throughout the day. So you want to incorporate activity any place that you can. You know, go for a walk for lunch, use the stairs, try to wake up whenever you wake up, do a few minutes of walking as a part of your miracle morning, or a few minutes of some push-ups or sit-ups or squats or what have you, just to kind of get that blood flowing and think about making your muscles hungry throughout the day. That's one of the biggest defenses to insulin resistance, is making your muscles or forcing your muscles to open up and crave energy. So now we know all about energy. We know how to stay focused. You know how to maximize the amount of energy that your body is going to utilize each day. So what I want you to do right now is to make sure that tomorrow morning you start your morning off right, wake up a little bit early, focus on those dreams. If you don't have a dream board yet, you need to get one. It can be a little sheet of paper, it can be a board or what have you, or a poster board with a bunch of pictures or words or whatever it may be that's representative of where you want to be, so that you're able to stay focused and not get sidetracked with some of that crazy stuff that goes on throughout our lives and stay overwhelmed. We don't want you to be overwhelmed, we don't want you to be tired, we don't want you to be hungry, and we want you to understand exactly what your cravings mean. And 10 and 2 is designed to do exactly that. So until next week, I want you to focus on the improvements that you made from last week, the week before that. If you've been with us for a while, then where you are right now should look light years different than where you were whenever you first started. And this week should absolutely look better than what it was last week. Focus on progress, not on perfection, and focus on your dreams. No excuses and no regrets.